All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Hey, kill! 27!
This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
54, right here. 51 for Mike, boy, 51. Hey, we got to get the stop here, team. Mike, 51. Check tight, check tight. Check tight. We're going to 54, right here. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
54. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got?
Play action from Miller. Now Watson completes this to Waring. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
What's that? 19. 53 is the mark. 59. Check 9. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jabal Sheard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They keep it on the ground. This time, it's Miller. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they end up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First carry for Spencer Ware. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Campbell making the catch. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Running on first down with Ware. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Texans' 17-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
47. It's our time.
We're scoreless after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. That's caught by Ware. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, going to 53. Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57. All day, 26.
2nd down and goal. Prescott feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. J.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Doyle. Touchdown Colts. Jack Doyle. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Shift. Switch. Take it.
Here's Johnson. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
40 seconds. Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Go, Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey.
Prescott to throw it. Complete to Hilton. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Colts.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They'll run with Mack. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Hey, chill. 47. 51, Mike.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successful.
The Colts take over 1st and 10. at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Prescott now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To Ware on the draw. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. And that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney merciless. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A huge play there for Houston. Given 58 yards on the ground. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
27. Let's go, kill. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He completes this one to Mack. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Mack. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
22, Mike 22.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jabal Sheard make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It's now 3rd down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
31. Alert.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here we go. Jim.
On first down. Where? Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 45-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
47.
Prescott. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Watson on first down. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Watson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Justin Houston has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
47. 51 Mike. Go. Here we go, D. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Watch the run. 51's the mic. 50.
Prescott from the gun. And he's got Rodgers. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Indianapolis.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
22, Mike 22. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike 22.
Prescott now from the 50. He's got it to Hilton. A gain of 6 there on first.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
27. Ready? Mike 22, Mike 22. They're running it. Mike 22.
Here's Prescott. Ebron's got it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive.
Kill.
Back to throw. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. From the gun, they run with Ware. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
Kill. We'll go 46. 51. Okay, double. 51, Mike. Mike 51. Here we go. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Coming.
Prescott. Looking left sideline, incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
for Lion. 22 is coming. 22 is coming. Mike. Come on. You better break. Look small.
Now Prescott. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is now 13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to base. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Texans, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in.